Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you for your leadership on this, and I want to thank the members of the committee for taking up this important bill. The last NASA Reauthorization Act to pass Congress was in 2010, and we have seen in the past the importance of stability and predictability in NASA and space exploration, that whenever one has a change in administration, we have seen the chaos that can be caused by the cancellation of major programs, whether it was the cancellation of the Constellation program, whether it was the cancellation of the Space Shuttle. The impact in terms of jobs lost, the impact in terms of money wasted has been significant, and I want to commend the members of this committee on both sides of the aisle for coming together in a bipartisan manner to provide clarity and predictability and support for America's continued leadership in space. My priority in chairing the Science and Space and Competitiveness Subcommittee has been to work cooperatively to ensure that America remains the leader in space exploration for the 21st century. And I believe this bill takes a positive step towards doing so, and it builds upon the bipartisan Commercial Space Launch Competitiveness Act that we passed earlier this year. NASA is at a crossroads, and this committee is acting, and I hope the full Congress will act, to ensure stability and predictability going forward. I want to, in particular, thank Ranking Member Nelson, Chairman Thune, Ranking Member Peters, as well as Senators Rubio and Wicker and Udall and Cantwell for working cooperatively together. This bill includes amendments from Senator Blumenthal and Gardner and Nelson and Rubio and Udall, and I thank Senator Wicker also for his flexibility on enhanced use, and we'll continue to work to try to get that added once the scoring issue has been resolved. I also want to take a minute to thank the staff who has worked very, very hard on this. Senator Thune's staff, Bailey Edwards and Suzanne Gillen and Jackie Keeshan, and Senator Nelson's staff, Dick Cummings and Alicia Brown and Denton Gibson, who worked very, very closely with my team, James Christopherson and Sean McLean, to resolve everything and come to consensus and move this legislation forward. It is my hope that Congress will pass this into law and the President will sign it before the end of the year. And if this legislation is enacted, it will help ensure that American astronauts are no longer dependent upon Russia to access space and will once again be able to launch from U.S. soil beginning as early as next year. It will support the complete utilization of the International Space Station and take the first steps towards extending the life of the station potentially to 2028. It will also facilitate the commercialization and economic development of low Earth orbit, to harness the power of American innovation and creativity, and to expand American commerce into space. It will honor astronaut Scott Kelly's 340-day mission in space and all of our astronauts who have sacrificed so much for our country by providing NASA with the authority to provide for medical monitoring, diagnosis, and treatment for long-term conditions that are directly associated with human spaceflight and exposure to high levels of radiation and microgravity, and that can result in acute and long-term health consequences. And it will direct NASA not only to continue the development of the Space Launch System and Orion, but also to treat human exploration of Mars as a statutory objective, supported by both Congress and the President. Right now, there's a young boy or young girl sitting in a classroom in Houston, Texas. And this bill ensures that he or she will have a chance, as will children all across this country, to become the first American to step foot on the surface of Mars. Mr. Chairman, thank you for including this bill in the markup, and thank you for the cooperation in a bipartisan pattern moving forward on this important matter.